Someone had been watching the Villemin family for 3 years before they took the child. They knew where the family lived. They knew where Jean-Marie worked. They knew the names of his parents, his relatives, his friends. They called the house. They sent letters. They told Jean-Marie Villemin that one day he would pay for what he had done to them. Nobody knows what he had done. Nobody knows who the crow was. And on October 16th, 1984, a Wednesday afternoon in eastern France, a 4-year-old boy named Grégory went outside to play, and the crow took him.
Hello and welcome to Mom Abroad. My name is Queen, and today I'm going to tell you about a case that will stay with you long after. Let's go straight into it.
River Vologne is a small working-class village in the Vosges, a region of dense forests and cold rivers in the east of France, close to the German border. In 1984, it was home to several branches of the same extended family, the Villemin. Jean-Marie Villemin was 26 years old. He worked at a local factory making car seat parts and had recently been promoted to foreman, a step up that was visible to everyone around him. It meant a new house, a telephone. This was a family that seemed, by the standards of the village, to be getting ahead. For some in the community, that was cause for envy. Sources who knew the family described certain relatives as devoured by jealousy. In April 1981, 2 months after the promotion, the letters started. They were signed by Le Corbeau, meaning the crow, a name borrowed from a famous 1943 French film about an anonymous poison pen letter writer who terrorizes a small town. The letters were specific, personal, and filled with details that could only have come from someone who knew the family intimately. They called Jean-Marie le chef, the boss, and they promised revenge for a slight that was never named. Over the next 3 years, the crow called the family house, sent letters to Jean-Marie's workplace, sent letters to his parents. On one occasion, they even threatened to rape his wife, Christine. At some point, the family's window was smashed. Their car tires were slashed. The crow knew everything about them, and the crow was patient. On the afternoon of October 16th, 1984, Grégory Villemin was playing outside near the family home. He was 4 years old. He had been born on August 24th, 1980, the same year that the harassment began. At some point during the afternoon, he disappeared from the yard. His parents raised the alarm, and police were called. A search of the area around River-Vologne began immediately. That evening, officers searched the River Vologne, and they found him there. Grégory's ankles and wrists had been bound with rope. His wool hat had been pulled down over his face, and he had been drowned. He had been found 4 kilometers from his home. The following morning, a letter arrived at the Villemin house. It read, "I hope you die of grief, boss. Your money will not bring your son back. This is my revenge, you sad fool." The crow had taken the child. The case landed on the desk of a 32-year-old investigating magistrate named Jean-Michel Lombard. It was his first major case. He moved quickly, and within 3 weeks, he charged Bernard Laroche, a first cousin of Jean-Marie, with the murder. The charge was based on a witness statement from Muriel, a 15-year-old who was Laroche's sister-in-law and had told police that she saw him take the child. She later retracted her statement, saying that it had been coerced, and Laroche was released. Jean-Marie Villemin, convinced that Laroche had killed his son, made a public vow to the press that he would kill him. On March 29, 1985, 5 months after Grégory's murder, Jean-Marie Villemin shot Bernard Laroche dead. Jean-Marie was convicted of murder and sentenced to 5 years. He served 34 months. Bernard Laroche's guilt was never established. Neither was his innocence. But with Laroche dead, the investigation turned in a new direction. Suspicion shifted to Christine Villemin, Grégory's own mother. A handwriting analysis on one of the crow's letters was said to resemble hers. In 1985, she was charged with her own son's murder. The charge was eventually dropped, as the evidence was insufficient. The Villemin family's lawyer later described the judiciary's handling of the case in one sentence. He said the work the judiciary did was pathetic. The case has never been solved. 7 investigating judges have worked on it. Investigators have produced close to 18,000 reports bound across 42 volumes. The case was reopened in 2008 using modern forensic techniques. DNA testing, however, produced no new leads. In 2017, 33 years after Grégory's murder, charges were filed against his great-aunt and great-uncle, Marcel and Jacqueline Jacob, as well as Muriel, who had given and then retracted her witness statement in 1984. Within a year, all 3 cases were dropped on legal technicalities. Also, in July 2017, Jean-Michel Lombard, the first investigating magistrate and the man who had charged Laroche in under 3 weeks, took his own life. Jean-Marie Villemin was asked recently how he had survived the past 40 years. He said, "I don't know how we survived." The investigation remains officially open. The crow has never been identified. Nobody has ever been convicted of the murder of Grégory Villemin. He was 4 years old. He had been alive for the entirety of the harassment campaign that ended in his death. He was born into a family that was already being watched, already being threatened, already being counted down towards something. He never had the chance to be anything but a target. And 40 years later, nobody knows who took him.
Thank you so much for listening. If you care about stories like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get the next one. Until then, my name is Queen, and this has been Mom Abroad. Thank you.